Testing. All right, just want to make sure we were on. Good evening, everyone. It is now 5:31, and we would like to move forward in getting started with our special call meeting. So I'd like to call this meeting to order. If I can have Commissioner Long, if you wouldn't mind doing the Pledge of Allegiance. If we can all stand. Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. And so at this portion, I'm gonna call for a motion to adopt the agenda. All right, we have a motion and a second. All in favor? That motion passes. Right, at this time, we do have a quorum, so I do want to put it out there. We do have two commissioners that are not here yet. I'm sure they're on their way, but we do have a quorum. So we're going to be moving into an executive session. That executive session is going to be for the purpose to discuss litigation and land acquisition. Once again, we're going to be moving into executive session for the purpose to discuss litigation and land acquisition. And so can I get a motion to move into executive session? All right, we have a motion and a second to move in executive session. All in favor? None opposed? We'll move into executive session. We want to go ahead and reconvene from our executive session. That's now 6:15, and I'll just need a motion to reconvene. Is there a second? All right, we have a motion and a second to reconvene. All in favor? All right, that passes unanimously. And then we'll also need a motion to adjourn. All right, we have a motion and a second to adjourn. All in favor? That passed unanimously. We are adjourned until our 7 o'clock meeting. Good evening, everyone. It is now 7 o'clock p.m. on October 21st, 2025. We would like to go ahead and call this meeting to order. If we can also have our invocation, if we can have Commissioner Henderson, if you don't mind doing the invocation, and Commissioner Edwards, if you don't mind doing the Pledge of Allegiance.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Will everyone bow their heads, please? Most gracious Heavenly Father, we come before you with thanksgiving in our hearts. We come just thanking you for allowing us to be here at this present time and at this meeting. We just thank you, and may your will be done, not my will, but your will be done in this meeting as we move our community forward, upward, not backwards or downwards. This we pray in our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ's name. Amen.
Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. I did forget to make a note that I will be filling in for our interim chair tonight, who is out, and so serving as the vice chair this year. I will be taking and chairing the meeting tonight on behalf of our interim chair, who's out. The next item on our agenda is the adoption of the agenda. Before I call for a motion, I do want to make an amendment to the current agenda. We're going to add item number 8A as in apple, 8A, and that's going to be tax collection IGAs, or intergovernmental agreements, plural. So there's several. So tax collection intergovernmental agreements, and that'll be 8A. We're also going to be removing items 15 and 16 from the agenda tonight. Once again, we'll be removing items 15 and items 16 from tonight's agenda. With that being said, I'd like to call for a motion to adopt the agenda. Have a motion. Is there a second? All right, we have a motion and a second to adopt agenda. All in favor? All right, that passes unanimously. The next item on our agenda is public comments. This is a time where we allow our citizens to come and voice your concerns, any opinions that you have regarding agenda topics only. So we're asking at this portion of our meeting for those who are coming, if you can voice your concerns about agenda topics only. We do ask that each speaker is allowed 3 minutes. At that time, I will motion to you to let you know that time has been reached if you get to that 3 minutes. If you don't get to that 3 minutes, then you are welcome to just have your seat. All right. Is there anyone that would like to speak at this time? And if you can, when you come up, please give us your name and your address.
Dennis Taylor, have a home up in District 5 and one down in District 1 on Lang Road. Mr. Chairman, I'm speaking on agenda items 12, 13, and 14, annexation. Mr. Chairman, the county owns the water system for Newton County. You're the ones that can set the fees, only you, by the law of Georgia. You have the right to tear them up to the larger consumers, such as City of Covington and Social Circle would be if they bring in these annexations that will consume huge amounts of water. billion gallons per center. That's what you got to plan on. Or 3 billion gallons for 3 centers. You can only produce about 4.6 billion right now from my last numbers. To send water to 3 more data centers come in this county would take another reservoir. Who's going to pay for it? We shouldn't have to pay for it in the county. Who brings them in and brings in that infrastructure should pay for it. The major developers are not going to want to pay for it. That's the reason they're trying to annex and come in the back door. They don't want to pay for it. They want us to pay for it. And we don't pay for that system once. We have one of the most, if not better, water systems in the state of Georgia. Facts will back that up. We have the best water resource people you can get. And all this should not be pushed on them. We've got that system because of great understanding citizens paying for it. We got that system because of current board members and past board members who gave them what they needed. Let me tell you about our system now that we cannot run. It's a system with some of the lowest water prices around. Mr. Mike Tompkins.
Thank you, Mr. Taylor. You have reached your 3 minutes.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's okay, no problem. Thank you so much. Is there anyone else who would like to speak at this time about agenda items only?
My name is Brad Woodisell. I'm at 125 Orchard Lane, Orchard Park. Here I talked about the same items as the man before me. I have worked at the data center field for about 20 years as an IT engineer. I know a little bit about the subject. In May of 2025, the Wall Street Journal has a great article about the great mobilization against data centers. As of March 2025, $64 billion worth of data center projects have been denied by local counties across America. Why is this? Well, once they are built, they only employ about 20 people or so. They have a skeleton crew. It's all automated. The amount of power that they consume is incredible. Even on the smaller size, an AI data center consumes about as much power as the entire city of Covington. On the larger size ones, it is the same as all of Newton County. They're also built for single use, which means that as components break, they are not repaired, they are not replaced, they are simply deprecated. And once enough components are deprecated, the building is shut down. Data centers are only built for a 10 to 15 year product life cycle, at which they are then an abandoned gold mine. I happen to live in Orchard Park. We are right next door to the large Amazon data center being built. What's it like? Well, every day at noon, and I mean every day, a warning siren sounds out. At 12:05, dynamite is exploded. It reverberates across our neighborhood. I'm on the HOA board. 14 months ago, we built a brand new tennis court. After 12 months of blasting, there are cracks throughout that court. We have homeowners who are complaining that there are cracks in their drywall, maybe foundation. When they ask what to do, they are simply told, file a complaint against Amazon. who we know has the best attorneys money can buy, can stretch these things out for months, and discourage the efforts of whatever local attorneys we can afford. Maybe one of the reasons why so many data centers want to come to Newton is because so many other counties are saying no. Thanks, folks.
Thank you, Mr. Rudisell. Anyone else like to? If you can, please refrain from clapping or any outbursts. We want to make sure that we maintain a very, very professional meeting. So if you can, please just refrain from any out claps or outbursts. We'd greatly appreciate that. Thank you so much. I'm sorry.
My name is Beverly Copeland. I live at 178 Elks Club Road, and I'm here speaking concerns towards agenda item number 12. I've lived at 178 Elks Club Road for 37 years. It's a county road. It's not a highway. It's a windy, narrow, hilly road, and many accidents and some fatalities have occurred on this road. So it's hard for us to imagine the impact all of the construction, logging, and the human car traffic would have on this road. There are 2 schools and 1 daycare on Elks Club Road. The parent and bus traffic go north and south on this road continuously daily. Elks Club Road is zoned residential, agricultural. That's why we bought our property, and that's why our neighbors bought their property to build a home there. The data center would be an industrial zoning. So I ask, how can this occur in the current zoning? Runoff from the construction and logging, clear cutting would flow into the Alcovy River, which would be detrimental to the Alcovy River. There are several endangered plants and groves of trees along this stretch of the Alcovy, and so the State Nature Conservancy is going to be interested in this proposal. Lastly, should the county agree on this request to annex 600 Elks Club Road into the city of Covington, I think it would open a Pandora's box for the county. We have seen this in surrounding counties. The people who sell this property aren't going to be living in Newton County. They will not see the damages, the changes created by their transactions. It's the people who call Newton County their home, your constituents, who will be the ones who will be forced to change and try to adapt to these greedy business transactions. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Copeland. We greatly appreciate it. Anyone else?
Hi, my name is Mary Ann Smith, and I live at 150 McGurch Bridge Road, Covington, Georgia, which is right off 278, right across the street from, excuse me, I'm not a public speaker, right across the 278 from item 13. And so I'm speaking about item 13 and also item 12. We live in a large neighborhood, and we feel like it will negatively affect our neighborhood. And I also agree with Mrs. Copeland. I traveled down Elks Club Road for many years teaching at East Newton, and it's, like she said, a very winding road. Anyway, I just wanted to speak for our neighborhood and the people that live along 278, and also everyone in the county. We're not happy about this probability for both of these items. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Smith. Brian, if you can please not cut my mic off, I would greatly appreciate that. Thank you. Anyone else would like to speak?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, Board of Commissioners. Name's Jeff Bishop, 10144 Twin Oaks Drive, Covington, Georgia. I don't live in the area of these data centers that are being proposed, but I've lived in this county most of my life, and I care about everything that goes on in every square foot of it. I would like to hear a good explanation of why these data centers are needed so much. Just about a year or 2 years ago, the talk was, the public conversation was, let's slow down on our approach to AI. Let's don't run into this headlong like we're doing. We don't fully know the implications of embracing this technology yet. As far as I can tell, I don't know everything, but as far as I can tell, the purpose of these data centers is for corporations to gather information from the public that they can then turn around and use that information to get them to buy something that they want to sell them. Honestly, I think that corporations ought to be providing products that consumers need and want, not something that they want them to buy. That's one point I wanted to make. Secondly, about the city of Covington, is the city of Covington not big enough already? I think they're getting too big for their britches, to be honest. I don't mean to be disrespectful, but we're talking about just embracing a project, two projects that would take about 2,300 acres of agricultural land, from what I can tell, and turn it into an industrial zoning. And the associated environmental impacts that will come from that with the stormwater runoff, and not to mention the load of water and electricity that will be used, I don't think it's good. But last thing that I think that we should consider is, on any big project like this, the first thing that should be done is try to find a way to site a big project like this on previously developed land. Not to go out to what you might call a raw land that's undeveloped, but find places that have already been developed, where there's already hard surfaces present, where there's infrastructure present, where there's a road and rail access, and it will be much less disruptive to the public. And that way, if something was determined to not be needed down the road, if the miniaturization technology sort of steers this thing, as a lot of people think it will, then it won't be such a big punt that will have to be made. But I would hope that you would resist this annexation, and I think you're going to, and I appreciate that. Thank you very much.
Thank you as well, Mr. Bishop. Final call for anyone who'd like to speak during this portion of our public comments. This will be our final call for anyone who would like to speak.
Good evening, Commissioners. My name is Shannon Doobie. I live at 55 Mountain Ridge. I'm just trying to understand why we have 3 requests for these data centers with the no public hearing attached to them. So I went and asked AI a little bit about this situation, and they said we had 9 data center requests on this calendar year. We're just in the middle of October. These companies are worth trillions with a T. Their CEOs are worth billions with a B. And we know what's going to happen. They touched upon it with the water, and there's also the electric bills that are going to raise. You're giving them tax abatements, and these are going to be passed on in the new lines and substations. I think we had 2 of those on the agenda just last meeting. Also the transformers. These are costs that will be directly impacted on the citizens who you're supposed to represent. I would like a revival of that. Some other numbers Mr. AI told me was $3.7 billion in plant cost has been beaten by Georgia and Indiana from citizen pushback. Virginia had a 20% rise in their wholesale market electric rates. Oregon had a 50% rise in their electric bills in 4 years. Ohio's price hike contributed to data centers 63%. We just want fairness. They can pay their share. They don't need tax abatements. Our county doesn't need any more data centers. We have 3 that I know of. I could be wrong. Thank you, Leanne, for putting this out and for people to show up and for giving me a little bit of time.
Thank you, Ms. Doobie. We appreciate it. The next item on our agenda is the report from the chairman, which is none for tonight. The next item is reports from our county manager. Mr. Brown, do you have anything for tonight?
No, I do not have anything for tonight.
All right. Thank you, sir. I appreciate you. The next item on our agenda is our consent agenda. You all have had an opportunity to review our consent agenda. I'd like to call for a motion to adopt our consent agenda or approve our consent agenda. I have a motion. Is there a second? I have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion at all? All right. All in favor? All right. That motion passes unanimously. All right. The next item on our agenda is our new business, item number 8. Consideration for senior services to accept the SYF 2026 multi-funded services contract from Northeast Georgia Regional Commission. Do we have anyone presenting from our senior services? I think I saw Miss Frida. Come on, Miss Frida. We want to see your beautiful face. And her beautiful assistant.
Yeah.
We love you all.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
This is our normal annual contract that we receive from Northeast Georgia each year, and we're just asking the board to accept the contract. And we do have a match fund, but it's only $20,000 of the $400 and so that they're going to allow us to have. So we just want the board to approve this for us, and we thank you.
All right. I'd like to call for a motion.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chair. I'd like to make a motion that we approve it.
All right. Is there a second? All right. We have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor? All right. That passes unanimously. Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. The next item on our agenda is item 8A, tax collection of intergovernmental agreements. And I think our illustrious county attorney will be presenting.
Thank you, Commissioner. Good evening. So before you, it's in the back of your packet, is a representative copy of the tax collection agreements between the county tax commissioner, and each of the cities of Covington, Newborn, Oxford, and Porterdale for tax collection services. So the cities are authorized under Georgia law to contract with a county tax commissioner for municipal tax collection services, but that is subject to the final approval of the County Board of Commissioners. So the county has entered into prior agreements with the cities for tax collection services. That last agreement was in 2019. But that agreement requires updating to increase the cost coverage by the cities for the tax commissioner services. So the cities are going to be paying more per individual account for the tax commissioner services. So the cities and the tax commissioner have agreed to the update, and so they are seeking the Board of Commissioners approval of the agreements. The agreements do not pose any costs on the county. Again, the city is the one that's paying for the tax commissioner services. So the county attorney's office recommends approval, and if you approve, I request a motion to approve the updated tax collection agreements.
Thank you so much. I seek a motion. All right, we have a motion. Is there a second? All right. Is there any discussion? All right, hearing none, we have a motion and a second. All in favor? All right, that passes unanimously. Thank you. All right, the next item on our agenda is item number 9, which is a consideration of budget transfer for contingency for new positions. And this is going to be for our Public Works Equipment Operator and positions for the Senior Services Enrichment Center. And that's it.
Okay.
Hey.
Hey.
Our
Good evening.
amazing Finance Director.
Thank you. So the first budget amendment I have for you tonight is a budget amendment to create new positions for the equipment operator for Public Works, and then also the positions needed to staff the new Senior Services Enrichment Center. So the funding for this budget transfer does come from a budgeted item in our FY26 budget, the contingency for new positions. The total overall cost for these positions will be $334,260, and we will be moving the money from contingency for new position line items and then dispersing it to the needed departments to fund these positions. Are there any additional questions on this?
All right, I'd like to actually ask for a motion. Let's get a motion and a second on the floor, then we'll go into discussion. All right, I have a motion. Is there a second? All right, I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? I'm sorry, go ahead, Commissioner Long.
You forgot my name. So, Brittany, I just want to make sure that everybody understands, and this is something I brought to, that these are salaries that we put in a certain category, and we don't put it in their regular budget items so they don't get eaten up as paper or anything like that, or equipment. That once these positions are ready to be funded, we're moving that money from one line item into their budget so they can do their hiring and things like that. So we want to make sure that the money is used for personnel, not used for other things.
Correct. So we hold the money in the contingency until the positions start to be advertised, and then we move it to the department budget.
Thank you.
Commissioner Edwards.
Thank you, Mr. Vice Chair. So, Brittany, just so everyone's aware, this money was budgeted.
Correct.
This is not money we're moving out of general fund willy-nilly. This money was budgeted, but we hold it in a special account until those positions are filled, correct?
Correct.
Thank you, Mr. Vice Chair.
You're very welcome. Commissioner Henderson.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chair. Continuously, I'm trying to figure out what kind. I know we have like a fund balance. So does it come from that? Or I'm asking. Could you kind of direct me where exactly the money's coming from?
No, this does not come from fund balance. So fund balance is a separate item. This is an actual budgeted line item in the budget. So the budgeted line item is actually called contingency for new positions. Okay. So we incorporated this into the budget this year.
Yes, ma'am. So how much do we have in that account?
In what?
The contingency account that you referred to.
So as of now, we started the year with 1.75 million. And then after this budget amendment, we'll have 1.2 million.
Thank you.
Yes, go ahead, Commissioner Cooper.
So, Ms. Brittany, so these positions will be for the new center. Is that what we're?
All of them except one. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 of them are for the new Senior Services Enrichment Center, and then one is for an equipment operator, one for Public Works.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Any other discussion? All right, hearing none, we have we have a motion in a second. All in favor? All right, that passes unanimously. Thank you.
Okay, got one more.
Okay, go ahead. That's right.
So for the next item, it is another budget transfer, but this one is being done separately because this is a request made by our fleet department. So they are requesting to reclass a mechanic 1 position to a mechanic 2 position, or excuse me, a mechanic 3 position. And then they're also requesting to create a new mechanic 1 position. And they're asking to move the funds out of contract labor because they're currently using like a contract labor line item, so a temp service to fund these positions. And they are requesting to make these a actual position with the county. So they will be moving the funds from contract labor to regular employee line item.
Thank you. I'd like to call for a motion.
Motion to approve as stated by the finance director.
Have a motion. Is there a second? All right, we have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All right, go ahead, Commissioner Henderson.
Thank you. Our county manager, James, what are your feelings about these positions?
I would agree this is an appropriate position to take from a standpoint of having an outside agency and doing a contract that way, and we can have a person in-house that ultimately would save money over time.
Thank you.
Any more discussion? All right, hearing none, we have a motion and a second. All in favor? All right, that passes unanimously. Thank you, Brittany. All right, the next item on our agenda is item number 11, consideration of Ross Associates Professional Services Agreement Contract for Impact Fee Update. And that will be from our amazing Director of Development Services, Ms. Applewhite.
Thank you, Mr. Vice Chair. Good evening, members of the board. Before you today, the staff would like to request approval for an amendment to the impact fees that we previously updated. This would be like an amendment to update. Basically, we're looking at the percentages that were assigned to each category. We do need to revise those for each of the departments that we previously had before: libraries, parks and rec, roads, sheriff's office, fire protection, and animal services. And this would also include any updates or amendments to the capital improvement element portion, and of course, an update to the overall impact fee ordinance. So it's a complete package. It is going to be, as Mr. Vice Chair said, it's going to be funded through the impact fees, so approximately $55,000.
All right, I would like to call for a motion. Have a motion. Is there a second? All right, we have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All right, go ahead, Commissioner Henderson.
When did we do this last? Because I feel like I remember doing this not too long ago. Not when I was here, but when I was sitting in the audience. We did an impact fee study, and we did made some changes. Are we doing that to update and allocate the money differently now than we had?
Yes, we're doing so each category was allocated a certain percentage. So that is what we're looking to amend. Some departments need a little more of the funds allocated to them than others. So we're just trying to make sure that it is appropriately funded based on, the needs of the county currently.
So will you bring this back to us for approval of this? Because I want to make sure that we've got stuff going. If they're going to build something, it's got to go to roads and public service first.
No, it will come before the board for approval. It's going to be similar process. We're going to be working with Mr. Ross on this, and of course working with the other departments. And yes, it will come before the board. Okay. For approval.
I thought that was the process that we had before. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Commissioner Henderson.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. How much money, if you know, do we have impact fee?
That we've collected so far?
Yes, ma'am.
That number I do not have, but I can find out from our finance director.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Any other discussion? All right, hearing none, we have a motion and a second. All in favor? All right, that passes unanimously. Thank you. All right, next item on our agenda is item number 12, consideration of proposed annexation request for Alcovey Rise LLC, map and parcel 0100-003-0100-003B and 0100-009.
So thank you. So commissioners, before you, this is an annexation that we received from the city of Covington. It's for several parcels that total about 1,500 acres. So the notice of annexation, I'll go to the next slide. You can see the property there and where the city of Covington is. There is some county-owned property that separates the proposed property for annexation, but that doesn't violate the rules that an annexed property has to be contiguous to the city. So the notice of annexation contemplates that the property will be used as a data processing center. The property is currently zoned agricultural and agricultural residential, and the proposed zoning according to the city's zoning rules is M1, which is a light industrial. So here's another slide that again just shows what the current zoning is under the county zoning. Here's the future development land use map that shows that it's residential rural. Here's the proposed site plan. You could see the data center buildings there. So there's an objection deadline that we would need to meet of submitting the request or the objection to the annexation by October 29th. So before you, there is a proposed resolution to object to the annexation. If approved, our office, the county attorney's office, would transmit the letter of objection substantially in the form that is attached to the resolution. And we would submit that to the city, notifying them of your objection, as well as to the Department of Community Affairs to initiate arbitration procedures. So if the board approves of the objection, then I would ask for a motion, so approving the resolution to object.
Thank you. I'd like to call for a motion.
Thank you, Chairman. This is in District 5, so I'm going to go ahead and make the motion that we approve the resolution objecting to the annexation by the City of Covington regarding the annexation request by Alcovey Rise, LLC.
All right, we have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? All right, go ahead, and Commissioner Henderson.
Thank you, Mr. C. Excuse me, y'all. It was my understanding, did we have a work session this evening?
Yes.
And so we had a work session in which, were there any prior notice to that particular work session?
Yes. Yes, I believe so.
Okay. Well, somehow or another, I didn't get that particular notice, I guess. And it's not that I'm against this. You know, it just used to be, and maybe I'm just probably out there, it just used to be, whereas the city of Covington and Newton County BOC, we work together. We would sit down and we would talk, because I always have thought that we were stronger by working together. In other municipalities as well, we were stronger by working together. And maybe if we had a difference, we talked among ourselves and we worked out our differences, or we figured out what we want to do. Because for years I've been on the board, we never have been this way against either the city or some of the other municipalities as we are now. And I think that's not good for us all. I think we need to work together. I think we need to communicate together. I think that it's not just a district thing, and I learned that in district, if you don't have the majority, the district thing just falls to the wayside, and they kind of do what they want to do in that particular district. But I'm saying we have got to start working together for the betterment of us all. And it doesn't take much time. We could have put 6 chairs up here, had an open meeting, and talked about whatever we want to talk about that's happening in the city and in the county. And it's kind of sad to me, because I said once again, we're stronger when we are together. We are weaker when we are apart. And maybe if we had talked, we wouldn't be at this point. We never can tell. So, thank you, Mr. C.
Thank you, Commissioner Henderson. County Manager Brown, would you like to address that, please?
So I just want to clear up one fact. It was a executive session, Commissioner Henderson, not a public meeting.
What you're saying, yeah, I understand that it was an executive session meeting, but I'm saying that somehow or another I didn't get the notice. And I think as a commissioner, one who sits around the horseshoe, that if you want to get something to me, I think you could have asked a sheriff's deputy to bring it to me, at the very least. Because I think it's very important for my constituents also to be a part of the process. And since we count on this, we've been having executive meetings, and then you come out, like we did this one, have an executive meeting, come out and make a decision, and at least me, from my perspective, don't know kind of what's happening. And so that's, you know, to a certain degree, I think it should have been maybe an executive work session, maybe a day or two prior to putting this on the agenda. It's just my opinion. Thank you.
Thank you. I do want to put out there that it was sent out via email, and so there were several notices that were sent out to the Board of Commissioners via email. So the board was notified and was aware of that via email. So I just wanted to make sure that that was known. I'm sorry, go ahead.
If I may, that was incorrect. That email does not go to my phone. My phone is not this phone. Right here, it's not the county's phone. So what I'm saying is, if I didn't have it, it should have been an extra effort to make sure, even if you had to send a sheriff deputy out to give me the information for the particular meeting. I think that's the only right thing to do. Thank you.
I'm sorry, go ahead, Commissioner Long.
I just want to make a comment that we were all notified. I don't know how your notifications work, but I have a county phone and I have a county email address that comes to my email, and they set it up for me. So I'm not sure how you're not getting the messages, but you know, email is our preferred communication that we have. Also, it's a public meeting that was posted too, well in advance, that we have to put out. So I'm not sure how you're not getting those messages, because we're all getting those, and we were all here, and we had a very lengthy discussion about these in executive session that we're supposed to have. So with that, my motion stands.
All right, we have a motion and a second. Any additional discussion? All right, if not, all in favor? And can you state your abstention?
Not getting notice in time to be part of the informational meeting before the vote.
I have it. Okay. Yeah, thank you. All right, that has passed unanimously. Thank you. Or actually, 4 and 1 abstention. My apologies. Thank you. All right, the next item on our agenda is item number 13, consideration of proposed annexation request for Falconwood Farms, LLC, property located at 10383 Highway 278 and 10385 Highway 278.
Thank you again. So again, before you, this is an annexation of property by the city of Covington, this time by Strategic Development Partners, for a total of about 90 acres of land. So here you'll see the pink is the city of Covington, and the arrow points to the subject property. So this table shows what the current zoning is of the property, which is R2 residential, and the proposed zoning, which is M1 under the city's zoning, which is a light industrial. So the proposed use here is for warehouse space. It's approximately 1 million square feet of warehouse space. So again, this slide shows the current zoning, again, is R2. And this slide here also shows what the future land use development indicates for the property as mixed use. This is the site development plan that shows the warehouse space. So before you is a resolution for your consideration to object to the proposed annexation. And so just to be clear, this is currently the proposed use is not for a data center, but based on staff review and county attorney review, we still believe that the proposed use would it represents a significantly different allowable use, that it would significantly increase the net cost of infrastructure, and that it also differs substantially from the existing uses, future uses suggested for the property. So if the board agrees with the objection, I would ask for a motion to approve the resolution to object to the annexation.
Thank you. Is there a motion?
Yes. This is also in District 5. I make a motion to approve the resolution to object to the annexation by the City of Covington regarding the annexation request from Strategic Development Partners, LLC.
All right, we have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All right, hearing none. All those in favor? All right, we have 4 with 1 abstention. That passes. All right, the next item is item number 14. Yes, sir.
Only extension, you asked for the reason why, so it can be a part
I figured it would be the same. Is it going to be a different?
a little bit different.
Okay, well, go ahead.
A little different.
Okay, go ahead.
Not having the information prior to this meeting.
That was the same thing. Okay, thank you. We'll move on to item number 14. Consideration of proposed annexation of map and parcel 0122-7B, 0122-78, and 011-500, 0122-1000, and 0122-01A00, located in Shrouds Creek Road.
Thank you, Commissioner Mason. So before you is an annexation that we received from the City of Social Circle. We don't have a total acreage for the property because part of the property is already part of the City of Social Circle. But you'll see here the property is highlighted where there's a yellow arrow. It's outlined in yellow. You also see where the City of Social Circle is in reference to the property. The proposed use for this is a data center, and the project is larger than just the property that's is currently part of the county. So the current zoning is agricultural and agricultural residential. The proposed zoning under the city zoning is L1, which is a light industrial. And again, the proposed use is for a data center. So here you'll see the current map of the current zoning. And then here is the developmental future land use. Again, it's rural residential. And here is a grainy picture of the site development plan for the data center. There is a resolution for your consideration to object to the proposed annexation of this property. Again, if approved, we would transmit the letter of objection to the city and the Department of Community Affairs to initiate arbitration procedures. So if you agree with the proposed objection, and again, the basis is just significantly different allowable use going from the agricultural and agricultural residential to a light industrial. And then also it significantly increases the net costs of the infrastructure, including roads and fire and water, as we've discussed. And also, it differs substantially from the future uses suggested for the property. So if you would like to object, I would ask that you make a motion to approve the resolution objecting to the annexation.
Thank you. I'd like to call for a motion.
Thank you, Mr. Vice Chair. At this time, I will note this is in District 5 as well, but Mr. Commissioner's Long running out of breath over there, so I'll do this one. I'll make a motion to approve the resolution objecting to the annexation by the City of Social Circle regarding the annexation request by Georgia Strouds Creek Land, LLC.
And I proudly second that.
All right, so we have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Go ahead, Commissioner.
I want to ask legal. Now, we've gone through these three objections. There's no need procedurally to state the resolution number. Is that correct?
I don't believe so. No, as long as it's clear in the record what we're doing.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Vice Chair.
All right. Any additional discussion? Go ahead, Commissioner Henderson.
Thank you. The question I have is that we have been discussing, I know this one in Social Circle for a few months, and I'm sure that it's not free. I'm sure that there's a bill come from our attorney. So the question that if I may, please let me complete what I have to say, and then you raise your hand, and then you say what you're going to say, because I'm not going to interrupt you. I'm going to give you that respect. And I think we need to know exactly how much money we spend on, at least I would like to know, I won't say we, wrong choice of word, how much money are we spending on attorney fees? Because I know they can get awfully high. And I know they started around about $250 an hour, and there's probably been several hours. So can somebody give me a number as far as the amount of money that we're spending? Thank you.
Yeah, I can look into that and get back to you, Commissioner Henderson.
Well, I think it's several thousand. And if when we get it, could it be, I would like for it to be attached to the minutes as far as how much money we spend on all these annexations. And that was one of the reasons why I said that possibly we're stronger when we work together with everybody. And we become weaker because we spend the money we won't have. Because I was at a town hall meeting that I called, and there was people in talking about the $3,000 or $4,000 more in taxes, and then they said, "Well, how much money you giving Social Security?" $72 raise, and we just can't afford it. Thank you.
So let me add to that real quick, and I'll come to you, Commissioner Long. Just so that the public is aware. When these annexation comes across, we do have staff, and our staff, they do have conversations with our municipality staff. So I do want it to be let known that there has been conversations via staff. So I don't want anyone to think that these are coming across our desk and there's being no conversation at all being made. So our staffs, they do have those conversations. So I just wanted to put that out there so people know that that is occurring. All right, go ahead, Commissioner Long.
I just want to put out there that I was elected on November the 6th or 2nd, whatever day it was. Like, it's too long ago now. And I have been working on annexations since day one. And I don't care how much money we spend legally to protect the citizens of Newton County in my district, because this is something I'm going to continue to fight for, what's ours. And, you know, we need to stop these people at the county line with these things. I'm sorry, I feel differently about it. I'm protecting the people of District 5. I'm speaking for the people of District 5 and what they want in their community, and I will continue to do that. And I tell you what, you know, being involved, I have met with the city, Commissioner Edwards and myself have been involved with these annexations since day one. He's been gracious to be on board with me to meet with these people because he was familiar with it from his the last term and the last commissioner. And we have met, I have met with the city of Covington. I have talked to all of the municipalities about these. So I will definitely sit down and throw my fist down that we are doing that and we are trying to make something work. And we have things that will, you know, these are formalities that we're doing right now that have to be done this way. It's a formality from a government standpoint that when they bring them to us from the city of Covington or Social Circle, we have to answer these requests, okay? The reason why there's not a public hearing on it, from what I understand, is they're just a request for annexation when it goes, and when we send it back with our objections or not. But I will continue to beat the pavement for this district, for District 5, and save the land that we have and not let the city of Covington or the city of Social Circle put something in our residential areas that is industrial, that does not belong there. If it's something else that needs to go there, I have a great relationship with the city of Covington and we can work together. Half of my district's in the city of Covington. So like I said, that's not the case. These are industrial zonings that do not belong in a residential area. These areas that Social Circle's trying to do and these areas that this particular person's trying to do are in our highest level of housing that we have in this county. And I'm going to protect those property values for you. So that's what I'm going to do. And I don't care what it takes to do it. We're going to do it. Thank you.
Thank you. Go ahead, Commissioner Henderson.
Thank you, Vice Chair. And I too, as Commissioner Long, am in the city of Covington. I'm a city of Covington commissioner, and I represent half of the city of Covington. And when you have a budget and you do not fully fund the budget for the office of sheriff, because we're spending all this money on lawyer fees, and when we can sit down, I believe we can, I may be wrong, we can sit down together and come up with something. Now, talking is easy, but show me what we're doing. And when you got children, so $51,200 that we couldn't even fund for some kids to keep them out of trouble in the summertime, that the sheriff had to go around and ask folks to help fund it, and we fund other projects for other kids, around $50,000 easily. But when it came to the inner city kids, we didn't have the money. We need to take more time with our citizens, watch our budget, the money that we're spending, because we're spending too much, I believe. And the one thing that Commissioner Long said, we both agreed when she came back on the board, was that you can't spend no more than what you have. You got to watch how much money you have. That's what I do at home. Watch what I have and spend it on my bills. Anything anymore, I can't spend it because I don't have it. We're spending more than we have. Thank you.
Thank you. Any additional discussion? All right, hearing none, we have a motion and a second. All in favor? Same abstention? Okay. All right, same extension. So we have 4 with 1 abstention. Thank you. All right, the next item on our agenda is item number 17, which is a consideration of contract with Snapping Shows Electric EMC for installation and maintenance of security light facilities at Factory Shows Park.
Good evening, Vice Chair and Commissioners. This is an agreement for Factory Shows Park to put a light at the entrance of the campground on right there on the right side of, on Factory Shows Park.
All right. I'd like to call for a motion. All right, is there a second? All right, we have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All right, Commissioner Henderson, go ahead.
Thank you, Mr. C. It's greatly needed, and I think the park out there. I think we do have an officer there. At one point, we didn't have an officer there. I think a few years back, and so that's something that's positive. I think it's a nice piece of property that in future times we probably should look at developing it to do something really good out there. I'm also thankful that I think this past year, if somebody correct me, Commissioner Elwood, we didn't have a drowning out there, and I think we have got some life preserved things out there somewhere. They were telling that for the people who go down that way. I think we probably need to put somebody close to water, especially in the summertime, to watch out and maybe help somebody, hopefully keep from getting drowned. I'm looking forward, and hopefully I'll be on the board. If I don't be on the board, that's fine, to our water park here in Covington, off Turner Lake. I think we got about $6 million, what they tell me to fix it, so we can learn our kids how to swim. And that's something I think is very important. I don't want to hear of another kid going down at Factory Shows and getting drowned, him or his father or stepfather there again. Those are people that I know. So let us continue to make improvements on properties to help with, help our kids and stuff that really needs some help, especially coming to drowning. And I just think one more statistic that I remember is that 6 out of 10 kids who live in the cities cannot swim. We need to do something about that one. Thank you.
Thank you. Any additional discussion? All right, hearing none, we have a motion and a second. All in favor? All right, that passes unanimously. Thank you. All right, the next item on our agenda is the alcohol beverage license. This is consideration for approval. We've already had the first reading. and it is for Brown Bridge Quick Stop LLC. The licensee is Asmina Gowani, 5961 Crowell Road, Covington, Georgia 30016, and this is in District 3. Yes, sir. We'd like to have a motion.
I offer that motion for consideration and approval for the Brown Bridge Quick Stop.
All right, we have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All right, hearing none. All in favor? All right, that passes 5-0. Thank you. Next, I wanted to interject real quickly just to kind of talk about our, did we have a slide presentation? Yes. So we recently had some commissioner visits back on October the 13th, budget in action. Next slide. As you can see here, some of the commissioner visits on October the 13th, the members of the Board of Commissioners were invited to experience the daily operations of several departments. The tours are designed to provide commissioners with an in-depth understanding of budget dollars in action. And with more visits planned, so we have some more, and I think this was great for the Board of Commissioners to get an opportunity to really kind of dig deep into each one of our departments and truly understand what is going on and how things are running and operating. The first departments that were hosted this past tour was Development Services. That's all of our planning, our zoning, and our code enforcement. We had the Extension Office. That's like our 4-H and all of those services. Then we have our fire services. We went to one of our fire stations, got an opportunity to see how they operate. And then we ended up with our court services facilitated by building services. And so we got a chance to go over to our judicial center right across the street and hear from our judges, hear from our DA's office, hear how they work and how they operate as well. And in preparation for these visits, our Public Information Office created a video series, which was amazing. Thank you guys for doing that so that we can kind of get a glimpse of what we were going to be doing once we took the tour. And so that was to showcase all of the hard work for our employees. This series is being released each Wednesday in October on all of Newton County social media channels. So check Newton County social media channels, and you'll be able to see those. And they also may be viewed if you want to take your smartphones out right now and scan that QR code. You can actually see those there as well. Next slide. Here are some photos, as you can see, our commissioners. This is with our development services and our planning and zoning. Next slide. And code enforcement. This is our extension office here. You can see we were sitting down really hearing from our 4-H team members and how they plan and what they do for our community. They really taught us about soil testing, which was amazing. So anybody that needs their soil tested, you can always reach our extension office. They'll be more than happy to come out, do a soil test at your resident and be able to help you with that as well. Next slide. Then here we are at fire services. We got an opportunity to see all of the equipment that they use, the gear that they wear, how they store all of their equipment, and it was just amazing as well. Next slide. This is us here at the Judicial Center, facilitated by our building services. It was great to be able to sit down and hear from our judges, Superior Court, and our magistrate court, and even hearing from our Superior Court clerk. It was a great opportunity to hear from them. Next slide. Oh, was that the end? Okay. That was the end. So, and we will give you all an update when we have our next tour. We'll be more than happy to give you all an update as well. Yes, sir. Go ahead, Commissioner Henderson.
There was it was good, I think, for all of us, even though, you know, it had to be about, I think, 1 or 2 at the same time to go. It couldn't be all together, I guess. And I guess that was good. But one thing, it was two things that stood out to me during these, the walkthroughs. Was first at the extension office, Miss Lottie Johnson, they were talking about she was one of the founders, if not the founders, a founder in Newton County for 4-H. And they didn't have a picture of her in their booklet. And she was telling that. So I'm hoping that maybe we can get in touch with somebody or somebody help me out and find a picture of her so we can have it placed in that 4-H booklet. Because I remember as an adolescent at Water Street School, running up the hill and down the hill from where I lived on West Street, that she was so nice, and a little bit of 4-H that I did learn, and a little soil thing that I done. I came in, I think, 3rd place. I never did forget it, and I'll forever be thankful. So if we can find a picture of her to put there. The second thing that stood out to me, and Commissioner Mays was good, was at our fire services. I mean, they explained about the trucks and stuff, but the fact that we're gonna get 3 women, I think, 3 ladies, and we didn't have beds for them to be in, because you want your shower to be different, you want the bed space to be different because of the ladies and stuff, and whatever little stuff. We need to fix that ASAP. I mean, it don't need to be did tomorrow. It need to be fixed before those ladies come to the, I guess, Station 1 or Station 7. I think Station 1, Station 7 is in District 4. But we need to fix that, and I think that's about all. It was really good meetings, and we had some really good talk. Thank you, Mr. C.
Thank you. All right, next item on our agenda is public comments. This is the last section of our public comments. This time is to allow our public to come, and you can comment on any topic that you desire. We ask that each speaker is allowed 3 minutes for any subject matter that you'd like to speak about today. So is there anyone that would like to come and speak at this time?
Dennis Taylor, Ellison Road, Lang Road. The cost I'd like to hear is how much does it cost to build a reservoir and to pipe it and get it running? I'm more interested in that than I am what attorney try to fight this. That's exactly what's going to have to happen to supply water to 3 more data centers. Young lady mentioned a lot of cost on data centers. I've got a lot of certified numbers. I don't have time to go over them now. A lot of certified numbers about data centers, electricity and water. They'll spin everybody's head around when they hear. One is a data center in Iowa used over 1 billion gallons of water in 1 year. That's certified. The data center they're trying to put in Coweta County is going to use electricity that 441,000 homes would use. We can't afford that. You know, progress, we know we're going to have development. We know that. Everybody wants to come here. But we got to try to control it. We got to slow it down. We'd raise the impact fees for the larger development, make them pay. That also acts in a way of slowing things down. And these water prices I'm talking about. Charge them more. We got the legal right to say if they want to bring them in, let them pay for them. We, the citizens of Newton County, done paid for a water system once, and a very good one, and we don't want it destroyed. We don't want it pushed back to where we've got to be told what days we can water our yards. We don't want rolling blackouts, and that's a guarantee if you bring 3 data centers in here. You're going to have rolling blackouts because we cannot gear the water system up fast enough to do that. It takes time. And I'd hate to be in any of your shoes right now. You've got to pick and choose what we can fight legally in this county. There's not so much money to fight it. But we got to use the tools that don't cost money. There's a 100% number you can charge for impact fees And the reason it's there is for counties like Georgia, like Newton County, to slow things down. And we need to do that. And you can keep them low on single-family houses. You can pyramid them up.
Thank you,
I'm
Mr.
sorry.
Taylor. You've reached your 3 minutes. Thank you. Anyone else like to make a public comment tonight? All right. If none, we will go to our Board of Commissioners comments. Commissioner Edwards, we'll start with you.
Thank you, Mr. Vice Chair. I normally try to keep this brief, but I'm going to probably use my entire 30 minutes tonight. So,
30 minutes?
So the data center thing, and Commissioner Long mentioned that her and myself have been working on at least four or five of these since last November, before she was in office. So, the trick is, for every 10 that's applied for, or for every 10 that's dreamed up, there's maybe one that can make it, actually pull it off. Newton County is the perfect storm right now, especially along the I-20 corridor. The large sewer, the large water main. We're 3 hours within 2 ports, and you have a major railroad and an expressway. Now that's not important for a data center, but the sewer and the water is. It's just kind of the perfect storm right there right now. Newton County is known for its water and sewer, as Mr. Taylor said a few minutes ago. So that's kind of where we are, and I've soured on them. And I can safely say I will not vote for one in Newton County, in unincorporated Newton County. Nor will I vote for annexation to create one. But what's driving those is the desire or the demand for AI. That's the big thing. So, and if you watch the news, about 3 days ago, Georgia Power just applied to the Public Service Commission for an additional 10 gigawatts. That's 4 data centers. I'm of the opinion the state should stop in and be the threshold for all data centers in the state, because right now we're inundated. The municipalities, the counties cannot keep up. And as Mr. Taylor said, you can ask California and Virginia, I believe, blackouts are on the way. Now, can you imagine having a blackout at 6 o'clock in the afternoon in August in Georgia? It'd be tough. So I'd encourage you to call your Public Service Commission. And the last thing I'll touch on is, and I won't go any further than saying just this, we still own the pool of the former reservoir project in Newton County. We still own the pool of that former reservoir project. Now, I don't want to start rumors that we want to start that project back up, but if there are counties or municipalities that want to come in here and finish off that reservoir, I don't know how we could not listen to it and pay for that infrastructure, and then pay us for the water. So that's why we continue to protect our watersheds, and we continue to hold on to that property. We had developers lined up when that project was shelved 8 years ago. We had developers lined up wanting to buy the property. It would all be houses right now had we not. But I got a phone call when I first took office from somebody at the state at the Capitol and said, whatever you do not sell that property, because that water is gold. And I think James can probably attest to that for us too. Water is gold. So I'm not saying we're reviving our reservoir project. I don't want that to get out there. I want that on record as I'm saying that's not what's happening. I'm just saying I'm glad we held on to that pool, the basic pool of that former reservoir project. So rest assured, we're keeping an eye on the data centers. I believe between Stanton Springs and what's going on Flat Rock Road in the city of Covington right now, we've got enough data centers. So and if you'll notice, I've had 1/2 inch of rain in the last 2 months almost. Drive over the Alcovey River and look at it right now. Would be hurting, and these data centers suck it all up. Thank you, Mr. Vice Chair.
Thank you, Commissioner Cooper.
I guess I wanted to clear, which is the old Oaks. That was formerly in District 3. And it was already annexed into City of Porterdale. So my understanding that could be possibly a data center there, but we don't have any jurisdiction on that. So I'm not sure what's going to happen there, but that's the city of Porterdale, which was already annexed already before the talk of the data center, my understanding. So I just want to make sure that was clear.
Thank you, Commissioner Henderson.
Thank you. Thank you, Commissioner Cooper. I think this it used to be, and probably still is in District 4, and the data center that was proposed, but we had nothing to do with it. I didn't have a conversation. I don't have a conversation with the ones over in Service Circle. People don't come to me and say, what you think about it in your district? But nevertheless, what I do know is that there's got to be some kind of talk around this horseshoe about whether or not it comes. It can't just be the town of Porterdale. So I'm hoping forward to that too as well, and hoping this young lady be just as, with the one over there in my district. But I want to just talk a little bit about Bear Creek, formerly, I guess maybe still be Bear Creek Reservoir. The thinking was, I was on the board then, just had got on, the thinking was that in the future, as the population grows, we're going to need more water. And there was a water source that we felt we needed. But because it took so long to get a, 404 permit, boy, people just started getting mad. That's too much money. And they kind of stalled it. But we had purchased, I think they had purchased all the properties. And the reason why it's not going out of house over there, if you want to know the truth, I'll tell you the truth. Because they couldn't sell it for the same price that they paid for the property. The county couldn't. So we were kind of stuck with it in order to make a reservoir, whether we probably wanted to or not. And which I think that's a good thing, because the population is going to grow. People love Newton County, love Jasper County, and all the other counties down below us. And so they're going to come here. And we need the water too. But that's why I've always said that we got to have a conversation, at least within our county, and maybe Jasper County, and stand together and see how can we best develop our county. There's been one data center, Facebook data center, and we approved that one too over there in the park. And so maybe we need to figure out something else. And it may be a good idea that the commissioner stand at. Maybe, you said to somebody else, but I don't like selling stuff. I like to keep it for the benefit of our people. If we sell it, we might not get no water from the Bear Creek if they turn into a reservoir. So we just gotta pray, and look for the guidance from the man above. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Long.
First of all, I want to thank all the people that came out tonight. I really appreciate you coming and support. This is a job that one person can't do. I do spend a lot of time in my district letting people know what's going on, staying informed. Our next task will be to go to the city of Covington and just ramp up the rhetoric, because I'm telling you, we have got to stop these. And personally, I feel like that Newton County, and we're working on this because we've been emailing back and forth about this, that I feel like that as a county, we need to stop these people. We need to put out a joint statement with the city of Covington that we don't have the water for these projects. We're not going to allow the water for these projects. I don't know what's going on with Porterdale, but we have not given Porterdale any inclination that we're going to give water for that project out there, for that data center. We do have the site that Meta has out at Stanton Springs, and Stanton Springs was developed 25 years ago when JC and I were both on this board. And it sat there forever. Nobody knew it was there. But that is designed for these type developments. That is designed to be out there and to be an industrial vein for Newton County, for businesses and people to come for jobs. Okay. So to me, those are the places that they need to be, and not next door to a neighborhood. So I think that's real important. And I really do want to just tell you how much I appreciate you guys coming out tonight, speaking about this. We've all had information on this over and over and over. I feel like I'm inundated with it. I could probably teach a class on data centers now. But, it's important for us. We are having conversations. We are getting information about this, and we're doing solutions that we can think of to try to stop these type projects from coming. We need projects. We need things. We're going to grow. I tell people all the time, this District 5 is going to grow, but we need to grow the right way. And I hate when people put on Facebook, well, it could be 1,000 houses if it's not going to be a data center. Well, guess what? It's not either or here in Newton County. It's what we want. So that's my motto for the next 3.5 years that I sit on this board, that it's going to be the best projects for our county that bring the best economics that it needs to bring and take care of our citizens that are already here and invested in our county. So that's how I feel about it, and if you're not getting information, then you need to figure out why you're not getting it, because I think the rest of the board's getting it.
Thank you. I'll end. I just wanted to give a special acknowledgement to a group of gentlemen who are near and dear to me. They're constantly doing community service work here in Newton County. As a matter of fact, when I did the back to school movie in the park this past July in District 2, they were right there helping assist. They're going to be doing even more events, more community service work. And so I just wanted to send a shout out and say happy Alphaversary to the Delta line of Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated through the Sigma Eta Lambda chapter. They are the 9 Pharaohs of Faith, really working diligently here in Newton County to help our community thrive and to be all that our county deserves. And so I just wanted to take that moment to just send that special shout out to that organization that really is doing the community service work. If there is nothing else, we don't have a need for an executive session. I call for a motion to adjourn. All right. Do we have a second? All right. We have a motion and a second. Any discussion at all? Hearing none, this meeting is adjourned. Thank you all. Have a great night.